Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about friendships and how to know when it's become toxic and when to walk away. So grab a coffee or tea, get cozy with me, and let's get started. So there's all kinds of different kinds of friendships. There's the online friends, childhood friends, family that are actually your best friends as well, coworker friends. There's you know, soulmate friends, that these are the people that are completely involved in your life, that you couldn't imagine a day without them. So when does it become toxic and what can you do about it? And what I mean by toxic is that friend is being disrespectful to you. They're not honoring the friendship. They're talking bad about you behind your back. They are sabotaging um, get-togethers, and it just becomes a chore to be in contact with them anymore. And we humans, we tend to cling to the what we get used to. We tend to keep around things that no longer serve us, and out of habit, you know, it's more comforting to keep with something that you already know than it is to venture out and start all over. It's the enemy that you know. And I had a friend like that. I had a friend that we were friends for almost 20 years, and it became toxic. She was very disrespectful to me. She would talk bad about me behind my back. She was someone I could not tell my secrets to. And it just became just very a chore to talk to her. And eventually I set a boundary with her, and she ghosted me, and I let her ghost me. And that friendship ended. It fizzled out. It ended. And that's okay, because that happens. Some people are only supposed to be in your life for a season, not for a lifetime. And those people are meant to be there to teach you a lesson, to teach you to stand up for yourself, to set boundaries, and to honor you. So, how do you know when a friendship is toxic? Well, like I said before, when you talk to them and it feels like ugh, it's a chore. They stress you out, they annoy you, and you just don't really want to talk to them. That's one. And another is, do they honor your friendship? Are they talking about you? Are they disrespecting you? This friend I had, we would make plans, and she would either blow me off, not even show up, or she would cancel at the very last second. And that happened frequently. It happened a lot. And it was, and I put up with it. I did. I put up with it. And you're probably wondering why. Why did you put up with that? Well, a number of reasons. I was a doormat. I used to be a doormat. I used to be someone that I avoided confrontation, and I let people walk all over me. And I know that sounds crazy that I would do that. And I come off as being a strong personality and very self-assured. But I promise you, when I was young, I was not. I was very insecure. I still am. I had self-esteem issues, and I let people walk all over me. I really did. And it wasn't until I hit my 40s that I started putting boundaries out, that I started sticking up for myself. And one of those boundaries was telling her, when we had made plans, that I didn't appreciate her blowing me off like that. And she ghosted me. And I let her ghost me because I messaged her through Facebook to tell her, hey, just a little bit of courtesy, you know. And she ghosted me. So that's and I let her do that because by then I had grown to respect myself enough that and I was healed enough internally to walk away. But another sign you can look at is your partner. Does your partner like this friend? And there are some partners that are very controlling, and manipulative, and they will try to get you all to themselves. But if you have a partner that's not, like my husband is a very discerning person, and he he's not controlling like that at all. And he picked up right away that she's not a good person. And I was just not mentally strong enough to pay attention to that when I should have. And he never liked her. He never liked her. And I should have looked out for that. Now, my friend that I have now, Teresa, we've been friends for 12 years. I can't believe it. It's gone by so fast. But she has never disrespected me. She has never blown me off. She never talks bad about me behind my back. And she's just always been a good friend. If we make plans, it's written in stone. And if we didn't, she would let me know ahead of time, like, hey, I got a thing for work. We can't talk. We can't do our video chat. We do video chats every Sunday morning. And she always lets me know, hey, I can't, got a work thing, can't do it. Cool. Thank you for letting me know. Very courteous of my time. And it's the same for me. Like sometimes I'll have a raging migraine and I can't talk to her and I'll let her know. Cool. You know? And that's how friendship is supposed to go. It's supposed to be mutual. Another thing is when you don't reach out to them and they don't call you, they don't text you, they don't message you, nothing. It's radio silent. That's how you know that the friendship has run its course. And the friendship was there for a season, not for a lifetime. And I know we want to, especially childhood friends, we like to be like, oh, they've been my friends since kindergarten. But the thing is some friends, they change. You grow up, you change, you evolve, your interests no longer align. You don't really want to talk to each other anymore. And that's okay. Because there are some friends that I have that I haven't talked to in years. But if they called me right now and said, hey, I need you, I would drop what I was doing and I would help or I would be there for them. And I know it would be mutual, you know. And those friendships are, it's like, I love you, but I've got a life, you know. And that's not toxic. That's just, a long-standing friend that you have, and it's a mutual respect of each other's life and time and things like that. That's different. A toxic friend is one that sets out to cut you down, one that interjects themselves in your life in a negative way. There was a girl that I used to work with at the VA, and she had these three girlfriends, these three girls that she went to grade school with, and they were friends this whole time. And she was telling me some things that they do to her, and it was very, very toxic. Like they would sabotage her, they would make it to where she would break up with a boyfriend. They talked bad about her, they would cut her down, they were extremely judgmental of her. And I looked at her and I go, why are you even friends with them? And she just looked at me, she goes, because I always have been. And so that was purely her business. And I didn't push, because it's not my business. But, yeah, that's what we do. We stick with what we know. even if it doesn't serve us anymore. And so I'm just telling you that by closing that door of that previous life, it will open up possibilities for you, possibilities of being open to meeting new people and possibly meeting a new soulmate kind of friend. That's what happened to me. Um, I was still friends with that previous toxic friends when I met Teresa. And truly, it was being friends with Teresa that showed me that my friendship was actually very, very toxic. And so she kind of healed me enough to put a boundary out, to let it be known that it wasn't appreciated when plans were made and I got blown off again. And but what it did is it opened up a lot more possibilities for me because for years, if you know me, I've been wanting to go to Scotland for years. I remember talking about this in the 90s. And this previous friend and I would talk about how we were going to go. We were going to go. We were going to go. And, years go by and I'm really trying to pin her down. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Your kids are older. They're not little anymore. Mine are older. This is the perfect time to go. We're still young enough to where we could go see a lot of things. Let's go. And she would just blow me off, blow me off. And so when I walked away from that friendship, when she ghosted me and I let her ghost me, Teresa and I went to Scotland for the first time in 2017. And so far, I have been to Scotland 4 times. She and I are going again. It was 3 times with Teresa, 1 time with my daughter. And Teresa and I are going again this year in July. We're going to do a week in Scotland and then a week on the Isle of Man. And the Isle of Man is not British and it's not Scottish. It is an island in between Ireland and England, and it's their own government. So we're going to go there for a week. So I'm excited. She's been wanting to do that for years and years, and we're going to go. And so, yeah, if I was still friends with that previous person and I was still hanging on to that promise, I probably would never have gone to Scotland. It would still be a pipe dream. It would still be a bucket list item. When now I can say I've been many times. And if you haven't been, go. But so, yeah, that's the thing. When you let go of the old, it opens up new possibilities for you. And it's heartbreaking. It is. When she ghosted me like that, it just came crushing down, and it broke my heart. It did because we were friends for so long. I mean, almost 20 years. There were times that she was so integral to my life and I loved her very, very much. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter and we found out that I was having a girl, she was one of the first people I told. She was just so vital to my life. And years later, to have it completely disintegrate. And that's the thing, too, is we keep those around us because of all those memories that we had. We don't look at the present, we look at the past. And you need to look at the present because we change, we evolve. Menopause changed me. I became stronger. I became someone that I set boundaries and I don't let people walk all over me like I used to. And that doesn't mean that I'm a mean person. It just means I respect myself more. So, and that's what you need to do. You need to make yourself a priority and respect yourself enough to say, hey, this isn't right. And another thing that you can do is quit reaching out to them, quit communicating with them, quit initiating contact, and wait and see. If some time goes by and they contact you and they're like, hey, I miss you, where you been? Then you can work with that. you can have a conversation with that friend and you could try to work it out on what the problems are. But if you do that and they don't contact you and it's radio silent with nothing, that means that your friendship has ended. And that's okay too. You know, it doesn't have to be a knockdown, drag out fight. It could just be a quiet silence. And it can evolve from an everyday thing to a friendship that is, I still love you. I just don't need you in my life anymore. And that's okay. That could be one of those friendships that I mentioned earlier where you still love them, you still wish the best for them, but they're no longer an integral part of your daily life. And that's okay to do that. Friendships evolve, friendships change. And but if it's a toxic one, if this person sets out to do things in your life, then you need to walk away from that. You do, because it doesn't serve you anymore. Because by walking away, it opens up new doors. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like this channel, hit the subscribe button. And I wanted to show you my headband. It's my Scottish or my Irish headband for St. Patrick's Day. I am a little bit Irish, so thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you next week. I'll have a story for you. Thank you. Take care. Be well. Bye-bye.